Stan Gibilisco here with some more fun stuff with the full screen Windows calculator. This comes with Windows 8.1 that was installed on my video making computer after I was hacked and someone decided that the best thing to do was to wipe the whole thing clean and start all over. So they updated everything. I had to reinstall all the software, and then I found this. Now this particular thing has three modes: standard, scientific, and converter. I've shown you now the scientific mode. I have very little use for the standard mode. That's just your basic accounting calendar, and you accounting calendar, yeah, and it'll keep track of what day I make what mistake. Converter mode, though, is very interesting, and I became especially interested in speed because a lot of people hear about wind speed in knots, and they wonder how many miles an hour that is and what they should multiply by. So let's just take as a good example for speed. What you do, you can select volume, length, weight, temperature, energy, area, speed, time, power, and data. And I've selected speed among these various options you have here. I'd like to convert a certain number of knots. Well, no, let's say a certain number of miles per hour into a certain number of knots. Now you hear that the minimal hurricane has a sustained wind of 74 miles an hour. Well, now what in the world is this doing to? Well, I guess something got missed there somewhere along the way. So let's clear everything. 74 miles an hour is a minimal force hurricane if the wind is sustained at that speed. That is 64.3 knots. So if you hear, for example, now let's go back and convert knots to miles per hour. 74 knots would be 85 miles an hour. Well, let's say that you hear Hurricane Arthur is headed towards the coast of South Carolina with sustained winds of 120 knots. That's a pretty dangerous hurricane because that translates into sustained winds of 138 miles an hour. More often you'll hear something like such and so hurricane has sustained winds of 95 knots. That's the oceanfarer's wind speed measurement. It's why they have these different units for the same thing. It confuses a lot of people. 95 knots is the sustained wind. The maximum sustained winds in Hurricane Arthur are 95 knots. That would be about 109 miles an hour. Well, let's clear everything again. Let's try volume. Did you ever wonder how many milliliters are in a fluid ounce? Well, fluid ounces, US. Let's enter 1 here, and milliliters here. Well, this will have to go down a bit. Milliliters? I don't even see that here. Cubic centimeters, that is a milliliter, but fluid ounces to milliliters. How many milliliters are in 1 fluid ounce? 29.57353 milliliters. Now I wonder what would happen if we converted to cubic centimeters, because I've always thought that was the same as a millimeter. Not exactly. 29.57353. So once again, go back to this calculator, this full screen beautiful Windows calculator. and play with it to your heart's content and your brain's destruction. Stan Gibilisco signing off for now. Until next rant, so long.